This is an how-to video demonstrating, showing you how to set up an event, a virtual event. So I want to talk about the technical perspective, so the details, how to set it up, where to click, and where to write things in it. But I won't talk in this video about the differences from streams, broadcasts, virtual hybrid events, webinars, and so on. So I'll just show the technical aspect of setting up a virtual offer. So you go to klar.land or to your company URL where you usually log in, and then you log in, and hopefully you are the one who has the rights for that workspace to create new events. So once you are logged in, I will demonstrate that in our event segment over here where it says events. So those are the events which we offer at the moment, or which we just created and are offering, and now we can add more events. So those events which you are seeing here should show up in the event segment in your administration menu. But they are not visible for me because I didn't create those events. So I only have the events visible who I created. And then it's quite easy to create a new event. I'll just click, as you have seen, on the rectangular large button, and then I'm in the mask to fill in all the various details of the event. First, I can decide if the event is a broadcast. A broadcast is then just in one direction, so you are the presenter, everyone will see you, but you won't see any of your audience. Then you would click on the token to create a token, and the URL and the stream token you put in your OBS or StreamYard or other video streaming solution to stream into our platform. But that I will show you in a different video how that works, how to integrate OBS or another streaming software and streaming into our platform. So I will demonstrate, because then everything else is the same. I will demonstrate how to set it up on a conference. So in this style, everyone can see everyone, but you as the host has still different access rights in the conference to control who's entering, who's leaving, who can do what. Yes, so then we have an order, so that means that, as you can see here on that side, the tiles which shows all the various events, they can have an order. So if you put in here 10, for example, it could start on the left side, then you may have a 20, a 30, a 40, a 50, which is just added. That would give you the flexibility to squeeze in another event somewhere in the middle in between. So if you start with setting up the order on some numbers where you have some space left, it gives you more flexibility rather than changing all the various events again, that it fits to the right place once you've done that. Then you have the name, we just call it the demo. We have a duration, which is in minutes, so we make that 45 minutes. And we are at the moment in January. I want to have that event in February on the 2nd at 3 p.m. European time. And then I want to make this, then I'm at the moment the host, the only host. So here it's possible to add more hosts. And here it's possible to add participants if it's not a public event. I will come to that a bit later, because I want to make sure that we set up the event first, and after we have set up everything, then we invite the users. So if we would now already start looking for users and add them and click on the save button, they would get an invite email for an event which is called demo, but then we don't have any description in the event email. So better we just finish all the setups, and once we are happy with everything, then we start inviting people, adding people to the event, because then all the content in the automatic email which gets sent to the participants or presenters do have the right content already. So we just ignore that for the moment. Presenters and participants we don't add, but we now can decide if the event has a lobby or if it's accessible without a lobby. That means that if a participant clicks on the event and want to enter the event, if we have a lobby, then they only can get into the event if the host give them the access. If it doesn't have a lobby, they click on the event and they're just straight into the video conference if they have the right to enter that event in any way. Then it's possible to change the event to a public event. That means that everyone in the workspace has access to that event. If you want to control who has access, or if you want to invite just a couple of customers or partners or employees, you don't make it public, you just keep it as a private event. But having said that, if you have a workspace and you have your users here, we have a separate video explaining how that works, but all the participants, which are all the users who have access to that workspace, which are listed in the user segment, can get invited at once to a public or a private event as well. So if you make it public, everyone just has access to the event. It's launched for everyone, but you still can, with just ticking that box, you just invite all users to the public event as well. If it's a private event, you have to add the users, or it's a private event as well if you allow for signups. So you can create the event, make it accessible on the front end in the workspace to all the users who have access to that workspace, but they still need to sign up for the event. So they click on the event and sign up for it. It's marked, as you can see here on the right hand side, sign up for event, and then you click on the event. I will demonstrate a bit later in the video that you then add yourself as a user in the workspace to that event. Then we have underneath the participants, we have a subtitle. So the title is the title over here, and it's at the same time the name is kind of the title, so which is a bit smaller in here, but that is the name which sits in the email in the subject line as well. And then you have a subtitle that only gets added in here, which is the larger letters. So we say for now it's the demo subtitle, and then we have a description. And the description can be a long text about you as the host or co-hosts and the full content of the event. The description is available on if the user clicks on the info button over here, the short description gets added into the email, into the invite email, which then gets sent to the users. So we call this at the moment just the short description, and here it can be a long text and all the various details. So with the short description, we just trigger the users, the customers or partners to get attracted to the event and want to read more details or participate in the event, and the full agenda and all the details we have in the description area added there. Then it's possible to add an image, which you see here. So the image of the tile can be an URL. So if you just look up for an URL, an URL for an image, you can just copy paste the URL of the image, which we just test in here. All right, we just take some random image and we copy and then paste the URL in here, and that is then the image which gets shown on the tile of the event. If the event is for sign up, so if you want to know who is participating on the event and who want to participate on the event, you have the ability as well to limit the numbers of participants. So if you have a workshop, for example, with a lot of interaction, you shouldn't make the group too big. So maybe you just limit that for 10 users, and once you have reached 10 registrations, then you will get informed and the user will get informed that they would need to look for the next event which you are offering. In that case, you can think about if you offer the same context 2 weeks later or whenever. So you invite all the users who wanted to sign up, but it wouldn't have the ability because they were too late. Or you have still the ability to add 1, 2, 3 more. So if you have 11 registrants, then maybe you just add one additionally here, as it might be okay for you then to handle 11 participants as well. So then that's for the sign up. So if you don't do the sign up, then it's just public for all your participants you have invited, or if you have a public event, then everyone can just participate. In that case, you don't really know how many and who will participate. So it's up to you. You can decide how you want to set it up. Then we have another feature. You can show the chat for the event, so everyone can chat in the same chat group, which is dedicated to the to your event, or you deactivate that, and then nobody has the ability to chat with the whole group. You may don't want everyone to chat with everyone. Then it's a different kind of event. So at least you can decide how to set it up. Then we have the show tile. If you click on that, it generates automatically with the image you have set up in here, that tile with the image. If you don't click that checkbox, you still can position the event tile somewhere, but I will demonstrate that in a bit where to position it. That's a different scenario then. So it just gives you more flexibility if you have various events and you have pages and subpages, then you can position the various events over there really individually. This would just add the event and the main overview of the workspace. Then we had already the invite users, so that just triggers the email to all the users which have access to the workspace. So be careful if you click that, really everyone will get an email. We now want to show the tile and we want to have the sign up, and we can even add a background image via this here, which helps to demonstrate to make it easier to add an image. So we don't need the URL anymore, we just add an image over here. So you have the flexibility. If you know already an image and you have it on your own website, just copy paste the URL. If you have the image somewhere on your PC, then you can just look for it and add it here. But I will change that. So as you have seen, there are various images which I have existing, but those are too large. So for ideally for the for this scenario, you have optimized images for a good and fast load. So if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 kilobytes, that's okay. If it becomes larger and larger, obviously it needs more time until all the content is loaded in the various browsers from your users. So just be careful how large the file really is. Ideally, it's optimized for the web view. So at the moment, we didn't add participants, we didn't add further presenters, we just kept it. All right, I click on the lobby at the moment, and now we click on save. So now the event gets created. It takes a little until we have the image uploaded as well. And now I click on the refresh and the event should show up in that layout here. And we have here the demo subtitle. That's our event. So if I click on the info, here you see the short description, the blah blah, and me as the host. I can't sign up for the event because I'm already signed in, but I can add it to my own calendar. If I click on that button here, I just add it to the calendar, which I have here. And here it's the demo event, and I can download a CSV file to add it in my personal calendar then. Yeah, that's basically it. So it's quite easy to set up an event, and if I now want to add further participants, I now have the chance that those participants get the email with the short description and the name of the event if I now start adding them. So I will just click on this David and add him. When I click on the save button, now you see it's one participant in here. If I would just add more and more, you will see how many participants you have already in the event included. So with the save button over here, you just save. Don't save again here because that just is the change for the whole event. It's not adding more and more participants. That's enough if you just click on the save button next to the participant. Same for the presenter. If you want to have more presenters, then you just look for them and click on save, and then you have more presenters. So we now go on back, and that's it. So that's how easy it is to create events. If you create those events as a public event, as said, then you are not able to add any participants, but you can send the invite still to all the users. Yeah, it's up to you if it's a public event, if it's a private event, and you individually invite all of them, or if it's even a private event with the sign up, you can invite all users, but at least they need to register. So ideally, you already mentioned that this event is for registered users only, or whatever you want to add, and then all the users in your workspace will get the invite and know they need to register if they want to participate. Then you can click on save again. I don't want to send it to all the users here, and we have changed the type of the event. Yes, that's it. I will explain the functionalities of hosting the event with the video conference system, how that works in a different video. I will demonstrate how to set up a broadcast and connect it to the platform, also in a different video. And we will go through individual meetings, which is quite similar but even easier for one-to-one meetings, in a different video as well. So watch out, and happy to see you soon. Thank you.